Today I'm going to talk to you about sacrifice. Every business builder I know has made sacrifices in order to start and grow their business. It's a key characteristic of a successful entrepreneur. Make sure, talk to any of your coaches, anyone that's successful in this business, and say, hey, did you make sacrifices and what were they? They will be able to tell you, yes, I did. And it was hard, but it was worth it. So you're going to have to make sacrifices. There's just no way around it. Nobody's sitting around thinking, oh my gosh, I have so much extra time on my hands. I think I'll start a business. It doesn't work that way. You started a business for a reason. So why did you start this business? Why are you working this business? Why would you make sacrifices for this business? You better know your why, and you better have a strong one. And also, you need to know your priorities. I always suggest writing your why down, go deep. What's your mission with this business? What are you doing? Who are you trying to help? And then write down your top priorities. So I always tell people to take your top 3. What are your top 3 priorities? And write those down. And anytime you are looking at doing something else, you better make sure that it lines up with those priorities. Otherwise, the answer is no. And that's how I live my life. And it has helped me get to where I am and to stay on track. So make sure that you do that. By definition, a sacrifice is the act of surrendering something highly valued for the sake of something of greater importance. When I started this business, the reason that I went into this business is we were drowning. My daughter, one of my daughters, has a medical condition that's really serious, and as a result, our medical bills were astronomical. They were like a college, basically like a 4-year education. It was horrible. Not to mention the fact that in order for her to survive, she had prescriptions that were out of this world each month that insurance only covered a portion of. And it was insane. And my husband was working as much as he possibly could, but when you have a medical emergency, there's not a lot you can do. Like, you just don't. You just do it. You survive. And I had to make a lot of sacrifices, but it is worth it. My daughter was able to get alternative care, which she's healthy now. She is almost 100% healthy. She's not on any medication. And that's because I made sacrifices. I said, you know what? I've got to do this. I've got to do this for her. I've got to do this for our family. And I didn't have extra time. I was taking care of 3 little kids. My husband was working 60 to 70 hours a week. I had to quit my job in order to take care of her because I had to be home with her, make sure she got the medical care. I spent a lot of time at hospitals and doctor's offices. And so my days were filled, but I found time to work on my business. I would stay up late. I would get up early because I had a strong why and a strong goal, because I was not going to let our family go down. And I suggest that whatever your reason is, you dig deep and you get it done. I know so many people, so many coaches that have been able to do it. And you've just got to have this no excuses attitude. If you would not call into your current job sick, then don't call into yourself, okay? You're more important than than that. So make sure that you have that attitude. And, guys, it's not forever. You work your butt off for a couple of years and you will have a very successful business, and you will be able to take vacations on the spot. You'll be able to take time off. You'll be able to do all these different things. It gives you that. And we're not even asking for 40 hours a week. Asking for 7 to 10 hours a week. Come on, you can find the time. So where can you find the time? TV. TV is a big time waster. Sorry, it is. And this is coming from someone that used to love TV. TV, I thought, this is how I decompress. No, guys, give it up. I challenge you to give it up for the next week and see how you do. No TV for a week. Now, if you are one of those people that, that's your quality time with your spouse, then talk to your spouse about it and maybe come to an agreement that, okay, we are going to watch this one show a week together. But do not sit in front of the TV and complain you do not have time for your business. I hear coaches all the time say, oh, I just have no time. I'm so busy. And then they're posting all over Facebook about The Bachelor and the other shows they're watching. No, if you have time to watch The Bachelor, you have time to work on your business. So that's not going to enrich your life, and that's not going to get you to your goals. How is that adding value? It's not. It's entertainment. I understand that. But you don't have that right now. You have a why, you have a business, and you have a responsibility. So you got to give it up. It's got to go. Another thing is sitting on the Facebook newsfeed, Pinterest, Instagram. And yes, we do use those tools for our business. But guess what? We don't need to get sucked into them. My advice is that you put a timer on your cell phone and say, all right, I have 15 minutes to be on my social media site to do business, not to hang out in the feeds or search on Pinterest for some type of craft, okay? You need to make sure that you are diligent with your time in those things because they can suck you in. I mean, I've been guilty of it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look on Pinterest for, a nail design. And then like 2 hours later, I'm still on Pinterest and I can't even tell you what I was doing. I'm so like, my head is just like spinning. So don't do that. Make sure that you are aware of where your time is going because that is not going to add value to your business and it's not going to get you to those goals. You don't have that luxury right now. Your time, your extra time needs to be spent on your business. If you are serious about this, which I hope you all are because that's why you paid to be in this group, then you need to make sure that you're working on your business during your extra time because you want to know what it will buy you later? The freedom of time. I now have the freedom of time to do things that I never thought were possible. I gave my husband, I retired him. He has the freedom of time. We both volunteer in our kids' classes. My husband just took the kids to school, came back and brought me coffee because guess what? We both have that freedom. We worked our tails off for a couple of years and now we have the freedom of time. We're taking a month to go to Europe in May because we have the freedom of time and that's what Beachbody can buy you. So make sure that you are focused on what your goals are, you know your priorities, and everything else you just say no to. We all have busy seasons. Think of yourself like an accountant. They work their tail off until April 15th and then they can take a break. And then that's what you have. You got to work your tail off until your deadline. What's your April 15th? Where is your deadline? Figure it out. Figure out what your goal is, what your end, where you are going and get there. Now, I will caution you, make sure that you get your family's buy-in. If you have a family, you need to talk to them. You need to get them on board with where your goals are and why you're going to have to make some sacrifices. When I decided to go full board in this business, I sat my family down. I'm a mom of 3 kids, 3 very busy kids, 1 child that has medical problems and requires extra care. And I'm a wife. And my husband has his own business too. So I had to sit down and say, look, this is what we're doing. Is this going to be okay with you guys? And I got their buy-in. And then when mom had to say no to things, my kids understood what was going on. Now I did have a young child at the, a couple young ones at the time, and they didn't really know, but it was okay. And I made sure that I made time for them too. So you're going to have your family time. That's why a lot of the times I stayed up late after they went to bed and I get up before they get up. I don't like getting up at 4:30 a.m., but I have to because I had goals. I don't have to anymore, but I did that when I was working my butt off. So the other thing you need to do is make sure you make time for yourself, whether it's like spending a half an hour to an hour to go for a walk or get your nails done. But do schedule some time for yourself so you don't get burned out. Number 3, delegate. You need to delegate to people. When I hit 2-star, I hired a cleaning person. I have someone that does my laundry. I have someone that helps with the grocery shopping now. It's amazing what you can do when you delegate. You might not be at that point. I wasn't when I was building up my business, but now I can afford that luxury. And I would tell you to make goals, like that. Like, okay, I'm going to get a cleaning person at this time. I'm going to, do this. It will pay off tenfold for you. And know that this season will end. It's not always going to be super busy, but right now you're in growth mode and you got to do this. It's going to be so awesome when you look back and you see what you did. I am excited for all of you. Push hard. You have 1 week left to hit your goal and earn part of that prize money. So push really hard. All your extra time, put into your business and get it done.